Hi, good morning. I'm Alejandra Rosas, a modern languages student. So today I'm conducting a deep formal analysis of an internship report submitted by Laura Elisa Martinez Albornoz, being her academic tutor, the Professor Johnny Palomares. The purpose of this presentation is to examine the compliance of these specific reports against the official Instructivo para la redacción de informe de pasantías. So, let us begin with the formal requirements. Our institution demands a strict adherence to the document style. So we find ourselves first with the font, the type of font. We have Times New Roman 12, 1.5 spacing, and a precise margins of 4 on top and left and 3 centimeters on the bottom and right. And it's evident that the author has followed these guidelines. More importantly, we must address the structure. The report includes two required covers, the first one being in Spanish, and the second one in the target language that is English in this case. And the name of this report is Building Communicative Bridges Within the Educational Setting. So it also contains a mandatory hoja de identificación where we can find the name of the author, her ID, her career, her academic tutor, the title of the report, as well the all the data or information from the place that she did or the institution address where she did all her internships, and as well we have the specific dates of the internship. Remember that these details aren't just mere formalities, they represent the professional standards of the university upholds. Also, we have the table of contents where we can find where each part of the report finds. We have the introduction, the profile of host institution, activity perform activity and professional reflections, cultural essay, conclusions and recommendation, as well as reference. So, on the introduction, we find ourselves, yes, first in the chapter of the introduction is limited to 2 pages and serves as a roadmap for the entire work. In the analyzed report, the author successfully accomplishes the four core goals of this section, explaining the selection of the institution, describing the organization, outlining the main task, and justifying the relation to a professional field. So in this part, at the beginning, I'm going to read this part where she says, this internship report is a reflection of my experience working at San Agustin Preparatory Academy, an educational institution located in Milwaukee, USA, where I performed my first formal job as a translator in a professional environment. During my studies, I became aware of the complexity of translation, undoubtedly fell in love with it. Okay, as well, she says that translation is a process and a form of communication where a text is decodified and transferred from a language into another. So then when we move to host, institution, and activities performed, so which are in 3 pages, we see clear description of the organizational structure of the work environment. The report details the tools and resources used, including digital translation tools, a key takeaway for Hill, to linking or skills with the strategies employed during the internship. The author shows how they move from a simple translation to complex ones. Critical tasks with an educational setting, effectively showing a growth in real time. So over here, we find that she says, as an intern, I was in charge of the translation of reading documents from English to Spanish. I was able to perform all my tasks remotely with solely a computer and a good internet connection. Yes, so we now going to reach the guidelines define the most critical selection of the report, the reflections. On this part of the reflections, we are going to find the academic and the professional reflections. The in this chapter, spanning between 5 or 7 pages, is not just a list of tasks, but a sophisticated essay. In this document, the author excels by evaluating their own work through the critical lens. They discuss the academic and administrative difficulties encountered, the solutions they develop, and the professional and personal achievements gained. Okay, one of the things that also the author says that could be one of the things that was hard is the first of all the school is located in south side of Milwaukee, an urban area with a population about 68,000 people, of which over 66% are Latino. Okay, so this was a huge challenge for her, but if she could uh, achieve this and trying to learn active communication between the parents and the school. Yes. So what it stands out is how the author connects this reflection to the theories of translation and linguistic specifically. The distinction between bilingualism and translator competence. The report discusses the unique dynamics of working as a foreign language translator alongside heritage language speakers. This analysis illustrates a profound understanding of the professional role, transforming the internship experience from a series of tasks into a meaningful academic contribution. So also we find ourselves with a cultural essay. Yes, here the author explains or explores a specific aspect of the target language. In this case, the segregation in the city of the Milwaukee. It is a vital note the professional tone maintained throughout. The author avoids anecdotal content and provides rigorous analysis of social issues, connecting them back to the education and language policy. Okay, so it's something that she talks specifically about this content is the segregation is a phenomenon that has served to separate the city unequally into boroughs. Yes, so now we can go to conclusions and recommendations. Yes, these must be directly tied to the previous reflections. Yes, the author provides actionable advice for both the university and the host institution, demonstrating foresight and professional maturity. Yes. So, yes, she says, my experience working as a translator in San Agustin Preparatory Academy was invaluable. Invaluable. I was able to challenge myself and put into practice all my skills I learned during the course of my studies at the School of Modern Languages at the University of Los Andes. Yes, so also, finally, we must address the references. When we go to the references, the school requires adherence to APA standards, yes? And I think that the analyzed report demonstrates and show a perfect application of this norm, giving various sources correctly, yes? Showing her academic integrity, yes? Most of them she's going through, she wasn't tackling about these lightly. She went through a deep research of all these authors about connecting all these dots between the experiences that she had, what she saw, and what she learned, and how the community was built itself. To summarize, the report we have reviewed a statement of the high standards of the School of Modern Languages at the University of Los Andes. I think that perfectly balances the documentation of professional practice with the critical depth of the academic reflection. So thank you so much. Uh, bye bye.